Hello and welcome to the Awesome 180 channel. I am Ashton Doctor, your habit coach. And today I want to talk about breathing. When was the last time you thought about your breath? When was the last time you consciously tried controlling it, or at least trying to feel it go through your body? You see, our breathing is such an important aspect of our body that we do not focus on at all because it's taken for granted. So what is interesting about our breath is that's the only autonomic part of our body that we can control. We can't control about our heart beating or the way digestion takes place in our body. Some of us can't even control our thoughts, right? So it's so important that we have to learn to control the only thing that we can, our breathing. And this is why whenever you're in a yoga class or an exercise class, or whether you're doing meditation, what is the one instruction that people think about? Control your breath. Breathe in gently, breathe out gently. So breath is what we have to learn how to use. So let's understand, how does a breath work? So we have our lungs, and when we think about breathing, that's all we think about. But the body breathes through its nose, its mouth, the heart, the circulatory system. All of this is important for getting oxygen to your cells and carbon dioxide away from it. We only focus on our lungs. We should be focusing on everything. So you see, we have our lungs here. And our lungs, at the base of our lungs, is something called the diaphragm. And a diaphragm is the muscle that actually pulls the air into the lungs. What it does is it moves down into our abdomen, expanding our lungs and thus drawing in air. Ideally, drawing in air through our nose, because we're not supposed to be breathing through our mouth unless we are stressed or we are tired. So once the air comes into the lungs, what happens is the diaphragm moves up and pushes the air out of our lungs. And that's how one breath takes place. Which is why if you ever see kids, you'll always notice their stomach moving up and down. Or take a pet, for example, you'll see their stomach moving up and down. But ask an adult how to breathe or take a deep breath, what do? They puff up their chest, they go. And we've been taught that is actually a deep breath. It's not. It's not how we are designed to be breathing. Remember, our diaphragm is supposed to go into our stomach. So what has to happen? Our stomach has to move out. So as humans or as any animal, our body has to breathe in by moving the stomach out and in. So what we're going to do is we're going to now focus on the correct form of breathing. What we breathe when we are breathing from our chest is actually a stress breath. When we are stressed, or when animals are stressed, they breathe from their chest. So the way to learn the belly breath is to take one hand and place it on your chest. Take the other hand and place it on your stomach. Apply a little gentle pressure to both. And what I want is, every time you breathe in, I want to see your stomach moving out. So if you breathe in, your stomach should go like this. Notice my chest is not moving. Very often you will see people doing this. See what happened there in the second breath? My chest and my shoulders were actually doing the breathing, not my stomach. So what we have to do is we have to practice this belly breath. It's not going to be easy, especially since we've had 10, 20 years of conditioning to breathe just from our chest. So the only way to practice this is to practice it every day. And your habit coach pro tip is to practice this belly breath every morning when you're lying down on the bed. So while you lie down after you've woken up, one hand on your chest, one hand on your stomach, and practice that breathing posture. Try it now. Stop what you're doing and see if you can actually make a proper belly breath. Breathe in and your stomach goes out. Breathe out and your stomach goes in. Practice these just 10 times a day and you will see how calm you feel. With this belly breath, we're just scratching the surface of how much we can do with breathing. We can use breathing to calm down. We can use breathing to energize ourselves. We can use breathing to wake up. Breathing is such an important tool, and we're going to cover all of this on this channel. So stay tuned. What's more, if you see a friend of yours or a family member breathing through their mouth, you know what I mean, having their mouth open while they're just sitting around, that is when they're breathing through their mouth. Share this video with them and say that, there is a better way that they can feel just by changing the way that they breathe. So remember to hit subscribe to this channel so you get all the new videos on breath work that are going to come up. And don't forget to take 10 deep breaths right now. Because remember, awesome habits create that awesome life.